Hey guys, this is Mike, the Detroit Borg, with a look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab 7.7-inch for Verizon with 4G LTE. So this is a Verizon exclusive in the United States that packs 4G LTE plus a Super AMOLED Plus display, probably one of the best looking displays you can buy on a tablet right now. So the spec-wise, we have a 1.4 gigahertz Exynos processor, 1 gig of internal RAM, 16 gigs of internal storage expandable thanks to a 32 gig MicroSD card slot. No card is included. And we also have a 3.2 megapixel shooter on the back with autofocusing, no stabilization, can record at 720p. On the front, we have a 2 megapixel camera for teleconferencing and that sort of thing. So let's go and take a look around. This is a review unit that Verizon sent out to me, so I can't do an unboxing here, but we're going to take a look around the contents anyway. So let's go take a look inside the box while we cover up the number that they've stuck on the front of it. So on the side you see Samsung Galaxy Tab. On the back you see some basic information here. So let's just slide this out. The tablet would normally sit right here with a nice little wrapper on the front of it. Now what's interesting here is that it's sold through Verizon. This is available globally as a 3G version only. Retails for $6.99 globally, but on Verizon you can get this on contract, a 2-year contract for $4.99. So inside we have our literature here, which is still wrapped up. I'm not going to open this up. It's just lots of literature on Verizon and that sort of thing. And here we have what would have contained the SIM card. This is a micro SIM card here. So here's the card right there. So you pop that in on the side, and I'll show you that when we take a tour of the hardware. So of course they include a docking cable which uses Samsung's proprietary 30-pin connector. This looks like Apple's, but it's not Apple's, with a standard USB connector at the other end. So you can charge it, and you can charge it either through a computer with a USB port, or you can use this wall adapter here, which has a removable wall adapter, so you can change that either depending on where you travel to. And we have the USB connector at the other end. So with the bright red packaging out of the way, let's take a look at the tablet itself. So first let's do a hardware tour. So on the back we have this very nice brushed metal panel on the back. Toward either end we have these plastic windows which allow Wi-Fi, 3G, Bluetooth, everything you can think of to operate through this metal chassis. On the back we have our 3.2 megapixel autofocusing camera with an LED flash, our headphone jack with this nice little metal surround, looks very nice, nice detail. We have a little microphone up here on top. On the side we have our power button. Below that we have our volume rocker. And below that, we have an IR blaster, which works with the Peel remote, software that's been included on this tablet, so you can control your home theater equipment with this tablet. On the bottom, we have our 30-pin dock connector, Samsung's 30-pin dock connector. We have 2 speaker grills here, and both of them are covered in these metal plates, so it looks kind of nice, very nice detail. On the side, we have 2 slots. Here we have the micro SD card slot and the SIM, or the micro SIM card slot. Now both of these are spring-loaded slots, so all you have to do is pop your SD card in there, close up the door, and you're good to go. We already have a SIM installed here, but like I said, this will not be installed when you first buy your Galaxy Tab. It helps to have some fingernails here, but if you have something else to push on that little micro SIM here, it should just pop right out, and there you go. So let's go ahead and power this on. Just going to hold the power button. There we go, Samsung Galaxy Tab 7.7. And it does have vibration motors in here, so that aids in haptic feedback as well as notifications. So we have 4G LTE, Verizon's branding. So we see the splash screen, very colorful, looks great on the Super AMOLED Plus display. Okay, we're at our home screen, and all you have to do is swipe to unlock, and there we go. Now taking a look around the user interface, so here we have Android 3.2 or Honeycomb. This is not running Android 4.0 yet, although it is slated to receive that update at some point in the near future. So this is also running TouchWiz, which is Samsung's overlay over Android, which actually adds quite a few interesting features. A lot of nice content is added to the tablet space to make it more useful. The first thing that stands out here is that, of course, we have the standard back button, home button, the recent apps button, and now we have a screen grab button, again, which is unique to TouchWiz. So that grabs a picture of the screen, so you can use that to share with friends on Twitter or whatever. You also have mini apps. So these are apps that allow you to run over the top of other apps. So for example, if we have the pen memo app here, So that launches, and you can see you can move that around. You can draw on it, that sort of thing. I think Samsung loves anything with a stylus these days. But anyway, so if you go to the browser, you can see it stays on top. If you go to another recent app, let's go to the VCast store. You can see it stays on top. If you tap home, it stays up there. And you can close that by tapping the X button and get rid of it. So there are quite a few apps down there. Again, these are mini apps, and these are all provided by Samsung. Now, Samsung gives you 5 home screens here. So in fact, you can see that they're numbered up top. This is the standard configuration. This is what you would get when you first boot up your tablet before you do any modifications. So of course, they give you a weather widget, a date widget, and I guess you have a gallery widget here for navigating or looking at your photos. You also have a social hub here, so you can add your Twitter account, which I've also done or already done. You can also add Facebook and that sort of thing. You have your calendar, and you have some of your apps here, including my Verizon account. This is your Verizon account. Verizon apps, such as VCast apps, Samsung apps, and the Google Play Store. Now, on the main home screen, you have a music player, email, camera, talk, Google Talk, maps, and the browser. Now, the browser is skinned by Samsung, but it's otherwise the standard Android browser. So you have tab browsing, you have bookmarks, and that sort of thing. Now you can add more apps just by tapping the apps button up top, and here we have 2 pages of apps. Again, a mixture of Google, Samsung, and Verizon apps, including AllShare. Again, that's a Samsung app that allows you to use DLNA technology to stream content or access content on DLNA certified devices like Windows machines, gaming consoles, or TVs, that sort of thing. We have the Amazon Kindle app, and a lot of apps already installed on the home screen, including the browser app, calculator, calendar, Google Play Music. We have the Pen Memo app. So this is, again, Samsung's drawing app. So this allows you to use a stylus or use your finger to make notes. And of course, we have the navigation app, or you can use the VZ Navigator, which is a subscription-based navigation system available through Verizon. Now, if you want to add any of these apps, all you have to do is tap and hold them and drag them to any of your home screens. So let's take it to the first home screen here. And you can see if we go back home, should be there on that home screen, right there. So if you want to move that around, you have to use drag it and move it around to another home screen. Or if you want to get rid of it, just drag it up to the remove. Now you can also tap this plus key here, which will allow you to add widgets. So again, there are lots of widgets you can choose from. Mail widgets, calendar widgets, bookmarks, that sort of thing. So all you have to do is drag and drop them. One of my favorite is this email widget. So let's take it to the first screen. So there you go. If we tap that home screen, you can see my email widget is there. Now Samsung has also added some additional functions with the standard Android button. So if you tap and hold the home button, it will take you to the task manager. So here you can go, take a look at your RAM, your storage, and your active applications, and here you can kill them all or end them individually. So let's end them all. So you get the idea. Tap home, takes you back to the home screen, and if you're on a different home screen, just tap the home button, it'll take you right to the main home screen. Same with recent apps. If you tap the recent apps button, it will show you all your recent apps, and you can launch them by tapping them. But if you tap and hold the recent apps button, it will take you to all of your apps. So here you can see the apps that you don't have on your home screen. On the lower right corner, of course, you have your notification window along with your date, time, and settings. So if you just tap that, it brings up that little slider here. So you can see your time, your battery charge, what network you're connected to, and you can toggle some of your hardware features. So you can turn mobile data on and off, notifications on and off, GPS, mute sound, lock rotation, turn Bluetooth on and off. You can also change the brightness of your screen here. So you can slide all the way to bright, or you can set it to auto. And there you go, goes to auto mode. We don't select it, goes back to normal. We can also jump to our settings from here. So this will take us to all of our main settings. You also have your notifications here. So if we have several notifications here, you can actually scroll through them right now. I don't have many. Right now I just have my email. So if you tap that, it takes you right to your email. And of course you can't have Android without Google. So all you have to do is tap the Google button up here, and that takes you to search. So here you can search either your tablet or the web. You can type that in, or you can use voice. So let's use voice. Apple. Now taking a look at the camera app, again, we have a 3.2 megapixel autofocusing shooter on the back. So if you tap on your Android guy here, you can see it flashes the LED light, focuses. It's a little slow to do so, but it focuses, and then you can take your picture. Now you can modify how you want your LED light to behave. So you can go up here. Right now I have it on. You can turn it off, or you can set it to auto. Now you can adjust your exposure right here if you go to this control down here and slide it up and down. We also have a timer here, so we can set an automatic timer. We can set our shooting mode, so we can do a single shot, panorama, or action shot. And we have some additional settings here with this gear icon. So here you can change things like the resolution, flash, scene mode, exposure value, focus mode, timer, etc., etc. Of course, you can also toggle video on and off. Again, this shoots in 720p, not 1080p. It's definitely an unremarkable camera. It's not bad. It's not great. Definitely not the best out there. You know, the Asus Transformer Prime has an 8 megapixel shooter. The iPad has a 5 megapixel shooter, but it does have an excellent front-facing camera at 2 megapixels. Most of them are VGA, which is lower resolution, lower than 1 megapixel. So this can be used for higher quality video recording and photo taking. Now, taking a look at Samsung's keyboard, which includes haptic feedback and of course works in landscape or portrait mode. There's also the option to shrink the keyboard down to size. So here you can move it left or right, either in portrait or landscape mode. So it allows you to use it with one finger. Now I would prefer if we had a thumb style keyboard like you get with the iPad, but you can get those in the App Store. Now they've also included swipe here. So swipe works like this. All you have to do is drag your finger. So I figured out that I meant to say Apple. You can also do Android. So that's one way of using the keyboard without lifting your finger. Now I don't think that's as useful on a tablet, especially in landscape mode. Maybe in portrait mode it would work better. Now there's also voice dictation. Hello Galaxy Tab, how are you doing today? Question mark. Now another app they've included here is Mobile Hotspot. So this allows you to connect any device to the Galaxy Tab 7.7 so you can take advantage of the 4G LTE network speeds. So basically this becomes a wireless modem. So here you have portable Wi-Fi hotspot, that's your address and that's your password. So all you have to do is go to your laptop or your portable device, find the network and type in the password. Another app they've included is the Peel Smart Remote app, which works with the IR blaster on the side of the device, so you can use this as your remote control for your home theater system. Now there are really two major features about this tablet, the display and 4G LTE, so let me talk about both. The display itself is a Super AMOLED Plus display. This is similar to the Galaxy S2 display. So this is a non-pentile display. This is definitely the best looking AMOLED display I've ever seen. I'm definitely a big fan. Part of the reason is, as you can see up here, if you look in the darkest regions of of the home screen, is just how deep the contrasts are. Colors are extremely vivid. Contrasts are very deep. So really, that's thanks partly to the AMOLED technology. And so instead of backlighting the display, the only thing that lights up are the pixels that are needed. So it looks absolutely spectacular. Definitely an excellent display. Certainly not the resolution of the Apple Retina display because, well, this has a resolution of 1280 by 800 with a PPI of 196. Certainly won't compete with the Apple Retina display, but thanks to that Super AMOLED technology, it looks amazing. Certainly there's some benefits there with that deep contrast level and the bright, vivid colors. Certainly colors are not very accurate. They're a little exaggerated. They look a little warm. But the quality is hard to beat. This is particularly great for reading text. So the PPI is just good enough for reading text. So for example, if we launch our Kindle app here, you can see text looks pretty sharp. So there isn't a lot of jaggies there. You can still see jaggies or pixel edges, but it's certainly not as good as the iPad, but it looks pretty good. Now the next big feature is Verizon 4G LTE. This is the reason to get this tablet because the speeds are amazing. So with Verizon 4G LTE, you can possibly get up to 72 megs down, although you probably won't really see that in practical use, but it is certainly faster than 3G speeds. Now taking a look at some of my previous results, you can see that I've been able to download as much as 9, almost 10, 8, or 8 megs upstairs. Down in the basement, I've only been able to get about 4, 5, or 6 down. Now the up speeds are amazing, so I can get up to 16 up, 15 up, 8 up, again lower when I'm in my lower level. And you can see the ping times are very quick, so only about 49 milliseconds. Now I actually have one of my Wi-Fi tests in here, so you can see I have much faster Wi-Fi speed, but Verizon gives me much faster upload speed than my own ISP, and they get about the same latency, so that's pretty amazing for a cellular network. Certainly a big improvement over 3G. So this makes this tablet extremely quick when you're using 4G LTE. Now let's test the speed of pages loading on that 4G network. Let's go to macrumors.com. You can see that's pretty fast. Another great thing about 4G LTE is the speed at which it downloads full HD resolution YouTube
What's
video.
up, guys? This is Mike the Detroit Borg with a look at the Logitech ultra-thin keyboard cover for the iPad 2 and the iPad 3rd
As you can see,
generation.
it's
So this
already
is designed to
playing.
work with
There's no
both
lag
iPads.
there, and
What
it will
this is
download
basically
before
a
you're finished
Bluetooth
playing.
keyboard with a magnetic hinge, just like.
And again, you get full resolution, so it looks pretty amazing. Certainly much better than most 3G tablets, which really lag on YouTube videos or any videos of any kind and really scale back resolution. So it looks great with 4G. Now taking a look at the size comparison of the 7.7 inch, which is kind of the mid-size of everything. So we have the Galaxy Tab 2, which is a 10.1 inch model. We have the iPad, or the new iPad up here. We have the Galaxy Nexus, which is a 4.65 inch screen, and we have the 3.5 inch iPhone. So you can see it kind of slots in between them. Now this is actually the thinnest device on this table at only 7.89 millimeters. This is thinner than the iPhone 4S, for example. Now if you compare this to the iPad 3rd generation, if you look in profile, you can see that it is considerably thinner than even the newest iPad or the iPad 2. Now overall, I'm definitely very impressed by the Galaxy Tab 7.7, and I think there are 3 reasons to get this tablet. The one main reason for me is this display. While it doesn't have the resolution of the Retina display, that Super AMOLED technology, thanks to the fact that it isn't a pentile display, definitely the best looking display I've ever seen. Now it doesn't have the resolution of the 3rd generation iPad, and that's certainly something to consider. It doesn't look as good as the iPad 3rd generation because of that Retina display. But it does have other benefits, including that deep contrast and bright, over-exaggerated colors. It just looks beautiful when you look at it. Text looks beautiful, it reads very nice, it's very high resolution, does a good job. So if not the best, I think at least it's the second best display you can buy. The other thing is its form factor. It's very lightweight, constructed very well. I love this metal back panel with the two-tone panels at the top and bottom. I think it's a very attractive design, very robust, feels very rigid, doesn't flex at all. So it definitely has a high quality build. It's also very thin, certainly one of the thinnest tablets you can buy right now. So this makes this very portable. In fact, you can actually fit it into a pocket. In fact, I can fit it into my pocket. Maybe not comfortably, but this is certainly a much more portable tablet than most 10-inchers. And certainly this is definitely a higher quality tablet than most mid-sized tablets. Most mid-sized tablets like the Kindle Fire, which is about 7 inches, or the Nook tablet, or the Vizio tablets are all low quality, low grade tablets. They're meant to be cheap. This isn't a cheap tablet, but it is very highly portable. It is a very high quality tablet. I definitely really like it. Now the third reason to get this is 4G LTE technology. And that's thanks partly to the fact that this is a lot more portable than most tablets. Most tablets in the 10-inch form factor size are meant to stay at home. So they stay within a Wi-Fi range. But this you're probably going to want to carry around more. This is one of the reasons to get it. So I think 4G LTE definitely is a huge selling point. You get very fast internet, faster than most people's Wi-Fi networks. So that's definitely a great feature to have. Now there are some cons to this device, and one of them is the fact that this is not running Android 4.0, and there's no guarantee that it will get it, although they say they'll get it. So for example, the performance tends to be kind of sluggish, especially around TouchWiz, around browsing websites and that sort of thing. It's not a big deal breaker, but it is noticeable. So for example, if you rotate to landscape mode, you can see it takes quite a while before it re-renders that into landscape mode and portrait mode. So that's just a demonstration of how kind of sluggish this device tends to operate with Android 3.2. The other big problem here is that price tag. At $499 on contract certainly is kind of pricey, especially when you can buy an iPad, the new iPad off contract for $499. So in the end, this is definitely a tablet for people who can really take advantage of its small form factor, who want 4G LTE connectivity for fast download and upload speeds, and who really want that Super AMOLED display. I definitely think that display is a huge selling point. It makes me really want to use this tablet. And for me, one of the biggest features really is its lightweight, thin form factor. This is very comfortable to carry around, very comfortable to use. It even fits in my bigger pocket, so I can stow this away a lot more easily than on the iPad or other 10-inch device. So definitely for a niche consumer, but I highly recommend it. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.